Good afternoon, Mayfield. It is Miss MacPhee, and it is Thursday, April 11th, and this is the homework for my pre-algebra students that's due tomorrow. Reminder, we're going to have no homework next week because of ELA MCAP. Math MCAP is May 20th and 21st. And on those dates, what I'll be doing is, since in between we have about 4 weeks, your homework moving forward will not be on curriculum, but will be on the MCAP public released problems. That way I figure it gives you some practice as to not just what might be asked of you, but the format of the questioning. So that will be starting not next week, but the week after. I did go to our shoebox. We had 2 suggestions, and they were for the same problem. So that's always nice. Last one, and walking home from school. So I have 2 different graphs here, and I have to decide which one fits the situation, and then what are my quantities, and then what is a function of what. So Elena starts to walk home from school, but has to turn around and go back because she left something in her locker. On her way back home the second time, she runs into her friend who invites her to the library to do homework with her. She stays at the library and then heads back home to do her chores. So when I'm looking at these 2 graphs, I kind of went over the story with my pen to kind of see which one makes the most sense. And I looked at the first one, I'm like, okay, so she's walking home, has to go back. These 2 are in the same location, so that works. Gets whatever she needs out of her locker. She's walking back home, sees her friend who says, hey, let's go to the library. So they walk to the library, they stay there for a while, and then she walks back home. That one seems to work, but let me double check. She's walking away from school, then she has to go back because she forgot something, but notice she never actually makes it back to school. So that's how I know that this first graph is the correct one. So what are the 2 quantities? Well, obviously we're talking about change over time. So this is my time, and if we're talking about walking and studying, I'm thinking my time, my interval's probably going to be in minutes. I don't think it's going to take her hours to walk home. Which means that our vertical distance, if she ends up back at home, this is her distance from home. So she's walking home, she's getting closer to home, but then has to go back to school. She stays at school to get whatever she needs out of her locker for a quick minute, starts walking back home, but then her friend's like, hey, let's go to the library. So they have to walk to the library, which looks like it's a little bit farther away from home. They're going to stay at the library for a while and do their homework. And then she's going to go home and do her chores. So I've done part 1 and part 2. I want you to tell me which quantity is a function of which. Is time a function of distance, or is distance a function of time? All right, I hope that helps get you started. Don't forget to do the front. And I will see you later. Bye, everybody.